So I played Skull and Bones this weekend. Okay, I played Skull and Bones this weekend, and I put in some time. Okay, I put in a 2-hour off stream, and then I put about 2.5 hours, whatever that stream was. Let me bring it up a little bit here. I put 2 hours on stream and 2 hours off stream. Here's my gameplay. I'm gonna give you my impressions of the beta. Okay, straight up. Before I even get started on my impressions of the game, you guys can go watch this past year and how I talked about Skull and Bones, and told every single time I talked about it, I said, you need to stay away from this game. Don't buy this on day one. Okay, don't buy this on day one. This is not a game you need to play on day one. This is a game you need to play on the bargain bin. This is the game that you need to play if you want to try it. Get Ubisoft Plus, whatever it's called, okay, and play it for $14 for that month. Okay, do not take the money that you're going to spend on this game. If it's $60, $70, $100, whatever they're selling, go buy a different game. Go buy something else. Go get 20 coffees. I don't care what you do. Don't give them money for this game on day one. If you want a pirate experience, go play Sea of Thieves. Go play Black Flag. Okay, do not give them money for this game on day one. But hey, I don't want to tell you what to do with your money. I'm just suggesting that if you want to spend your money in a good way, go spend it on something else. Do not give money to this game at launch, because 8 months from now, 10 months from now, maybe even 18 months from now, this game will be in a better state than it is right now in the beta form. And when it launches on February, I think it's like early February or mid-February, like, do anything else with that $70. Anything else. I was like, you know what? I kept telling everyone, stay away from it, stay away from it. I was like, you know what? The beta. I got into the beta. Thank you, Eclipse, for giving me the code. And then Stealth tried to give me another one, which I didn't need because I got back in. But I appreciate the codes. I said, you know what? Let me play it, because my thoughts on it were based on what we saw and the news stories and whatnot. And I said, let me give you my firsthand. So I did. I played it firsthand. And it starts off, and you're in your ship, which you don't see here because I played it off stream. But it's like a little like prologue type of thing. They start you off in a ship. You start going through the stuff, getting right off the bat into some sea battles. First thing off the top of my very first thing, I was like, this is super arcadey, super arcadey. Now, if you like arcade type of games, the difference I can tell you is it's not a pirate sim in any way, shape, or form. So if you're looking for some sort of pirate simulator, this is not the game, okay? If you like World of Tanks or World of Ships, okay, that type of game, but with pirate ships, that's what it is. So if you like that type of game, sure. You can see the way my guy is moving right now. I'm showing how delayed it is, like when you're actually walking. The on-island stuff feels very clunky, okay? So it just feels weird. Very linear while you're on the islands. Obviously, they're not the first game to make like the menu system on an island. This is what it feels like, though. So as you're walking around, you're like, instead of going to your menu system and then like cooking, you're going to the thing and cooking. It's like the menu system that you're walking around. Very lackluster type of stuff. Lots of cutscenes, lots of stuff, but you don't really feel a sense of like you need to go talk to these people. You have to talk to these people to go do stuff. The ship controls, like I said, feel very arcadey. The fighting of the ships feel very arcadey. The loot system, the gathering system, okay, feels like an afterthought type of thing. Like you just drive over something and press Y. In my opinion, it's like, why do I even have to press Y? I can just run it over and then collect it right in the water, okay? But then people might say, well, what about if you don't need that material? Okay, well then, like, I can dump it up afterwards. I don't know why I have to hit Y every single time. Then when you do the mini games, there's like these little mini games. Like if you go up to saw a tree or collect materials, there's like this little bar meter that goes up. And what they do, they change it from this way to change it up. Okay, they change the actual, as you can tell, the bar changes, right? Let me rewind it just a second or two. It's like a little mini game and it changes. It's like a little meter, and then the meter will change where the green line goes to a different spot. So it kind of makes it change. And cool. You start playing off the very first of it and you're like, this is interesting. You're over it within 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes, you're like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to play this. Okay, I don't need to do this mini game. Let me just, if it's in the water, I just go over it, hit Y, and collect it. But here I got a little mini game. Okay, so it's kind of weird, kind of strange. Everything about this game just feels like they had something really rich, but then they dumped it to make it work because they have to get the game out. Okay, yeah. See, they changed the meter, right? It went from this meter, okay, to now going up and down, right? It's a different game. I had to do the jute compared to the palm leaves, compared to, and it's delayed. It feels very delayed when you're doing it as well. There is no melee combat in this game. When you're playing through the game, there's no shooting a gun. There's a button when you're up against a ship. It says hit the blunder, and you can hit the blunder. So you shoot the ship with the blunderbuss, but you personally don't do it. Okay. There's third-person camera view. There's first-person camera view. It's cool going first-person because you get to see all the characters moving around doing their jobs and whatnot. So this is the small ship. Let me fast forward to the bigger ship. So you see all the people moving about the ship. You're stuck at the helm, right? You're stuck, which is, I wish it was a little farther back. You know, a little farther back maybe with the camera angle. Okay, graphics are cool, right? They're great. They're fantastic. A lot of the stuff looks good, and then other times it doesn't look very good. But here's another mini game. We're pulling up to the over here to harvest the iron, right? And this is it. This is the gameplay. Okay, I'll show you combat in a second. The combat is very lackluster as well. You heal with like pushing left on the D-pad. I mean, if you like combat, this is right up your alley. Okay, but all you hear the entire time you're in battle is obviously, I guess it's realistic, is everyone just screaming. Your whole crew is just screaming the entire time. The overall, my thoughts of this game after I played it is exactly how I felt before I touched the game. Okay, by just looking at what it was and the 4 times they revamped this game over the last 7 years, I felt like this game was going to be a meal piece together. It's going to be an obligation type of thing. Now, is there a market for this game? Absolutely, there's a market for this game. Okay, there's going to be people that love this game, and people are like, oh man, it's so much fun just going around. And maybe later in the game, exactly, I only played 4 hours. Maybe hour 20, maybe hour 30 when you're level up and you're in a big boat and you have all the different pieces on there. Maybe it feels better. Based on my experience of past games and now playing this game, it's not going to be different. There's going to be no difference from the lower level that you are, okay, to get into the higher levels and doing the exact same thing. It feels very empty, okay? Now, the problem with this is that when Sea of Thieves first came out, there was that Sea of Thieves had this pirate simulator type of thing. Cartoony look, but it felt really good playing it. But it was a shallow game when it came out. This is shallow in a separate way, okay? Sea of Thieves made you feel like a pirate. This just makes you feel like you're playing an arcade game. Like, they could just take this piece out, bring it to an actual arcade where you're just doing the ship battle, and like there's a timer, and then you have to stick another quarter in as you're shooting. That's what it feels like. It feels very, very arcadey. I want to show you. This is what other people are saying, okay, in Skull and Bones. Let me close my video down. All right, so Skull and Bones testers quit game from sheer boredom. Okay, from sheer boredom. Skull and Bones testers shared their recent closed beta experiences. Okay, from sheer boredom, finding the pirate gameplay to be rather dull and unenjoyable. Ubisoft Skull and Bones is set to arrive quite soon, and from major platforms, though the game's beta testers are sharing its underwhelming experiences after spending time with the game. 2 months before Skull and Bones officially launches, players now have an additional insight into the redesigned gameplay, which is being met with relatively poor reception. Since it was the first revealed in 2017, the Skull and Bones pirate action game has seen several delays. Through the years of Ubisoft Singapore working on the game, testers were invited to try out the ever-changing title. This year's particular has seen new Skull and Bones closed betas with negative comments coming as a result for most recent trial period. Despite many delays by Ubisoft, an influx of alarming players responded indicates that the continuously postponed Skull and Bones may have not been all that fun. Now, upon posting the disappointing experience, Reddit regarding a recent Skull and Bones beta user was met with many comments sharing similar experiences and thoughts. Other testers have noted issues with the game's dialogue, while drawing attention back to the lack of certain expected features, like sword fights, naval combat, and more of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, not as much as said about the exactly improved or change. Okay, bored to the point where they quit the game just after 1 hour. So December 2023's closed beta stage for Skull and Bones has seen many negative opinions shared by the testers, like this one, which was turning beta players, noting several issues with the gameplay, and have reminded, despite multiple tests, the overall consensus of the gameplay of Skull and Bones is dull, with fetch quests and dialogue from NPCs that feel endless being just some of the problems. So as of writing this, it appears that Skull and Bones won't delay once or more Ubisofts despite the closed betas failing and a general praise. Ubisoft Singapore seems determined to deliver a long-awaited pirate game, still with the negative reception from the testers in mind. So here's the Reddit post, right? Here's a guy, some random person, okay, posted by Achilla Essa, I think that's his name. It says, "I quit Skull and Bones after an hour due to sheer boredom." Ubisoft, this isn't it. The first hour of the game, there was zero combat or excitement other than the combat tutorial at the start, which didn't even work right. Okay, you just watch boring cutscenes, endless talk to NPCs, and do fetch quests. Now, obviously, each their own. Some people like cutscenes, some people like the dialogue. We were just talking about this with Travis, earlier in the stream. What's the right balance? Some people like certain things, some people don't. They put it in the game. You get to decide what you like and what you don't like. It's literally a walking simulator, which is pretty funny considering you're in a ship more than you're walking. And then there's some reason to throw you into crafting menus. I don't want to craft a cannon. I have no idea what these items even do, or just let me just play your game. Also, the dialogue is horrible. It's so bland and sterile. Okay, it started skipping it. I almost never skip dialogue in any game. Skipping dialogue 30 minutes into the game is not what you want to see. I can confidently say that I've never played any game with the first hour as bad as this. Ubisoft, I think you forgot the part where the game is supposed to be fun. So yeah, I wouldn't even play this if it was free to play. You probably have to pay me. Just my 2 cents. And you know what? I agree. If this is a game that was free, it would really be a hard pass because there's so many other better games that are out there for free that you wouldn't even waste your time with this. But this is a $70 game. Okay, this is a $70 game unless you're doing Ubisoft Plus. Take what you want for what I say, but I've been saying it for years. I said Skull and Bones is such a bad game. Remember when they first showed it, it was like a multiple ship battle. That's what it was. And we're like, yeah, not that. Then they changed it. Then there was all of a sudden that you were walking on land. This game doesn't know what it is. The developers making it don't know what this game is. They were trying to make it a segment of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but then it changed along the way. Then they wanted to make it like Sea of Thieves, but they changed it along the way. Then they were trying to make it like For Honor, but then they changed it along the way. And now we have what it is, and it feels absolutely terrible. Okay? So, it's sad, but true. Some people make a game and they sell a game. Some people make a game, scrap the game, make the game, scrap the game, make the game, scrap the game, make it back, and then they have obligated to put it out because they took money from Singapore and they have to make a game. So, here's my final thoughts. If you want a pirate game and you're so dead bent and going, you know what, 30, I don't care what you say, I'm still going to get this game, have fun. Have fun. For the rest of you that want to spend your money, $70, on something else, there's plenty of other games out there that you can get for $70, okay? And go play those games. Go buy those full price games and put them on your backlog. Do not buy this and put it on your backlog, okay? Don't buy this. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Did you play the beta test? Did you play other beta tests of this game? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in live stream right now. Please make sure you hit that like button. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button if you'd like to go above and beyond that. Become a member as little as $5. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.